Hey everyone, we are back to talk about some kind of different stuff today. So, trying to think, will I title this, have I stopped talking about Katie slash Dustin Daily did some shit and we're going to talk about that? Yeah, sure, fine, why not? So, I've missed you. I had to take a couple days and get a few things straight and handled, and we're good. Everything's good. So, I miss you guys. We are here. We're going to do this. Well, to answer the first question, am I done talking about Katie? I've seen a few channels that cover Katie stuff be like, yeah, I'm not really gonna say anything right now. I think we all just need to take that deep breath and give it a little bit of time, see if she keeps her mouth shut. I have heard that she may have said something, but I haven't seen it for myself. So yeah, we're gonna give it some time. And because I've said this entire time that if Katie would ever stop talking and just stop, that we wouldn't have anything to talk about. Now, however, I did just make my last video kind of getting the point across that I had just realized at that time that even though Katie may not talk about the lawsuit and she might stop calling other YouTubers out, there are still real issues with her regular content. So, will I stop talking about her completely? Probably not. But definitely less often, the less she does problematic things, the less, she talks about the court case and calls people out, the less I'll have to say about it. So that's why we are here today talking about good old Dustin Daily. And this one kind of sucks. So many of you probably don't know this because it was very early on and they weren't viewed that much, but I made videos when the whole Angelica Oles Smoky Glow thing happened. I ended up making a video about Rich Lux and Nick Snyder because I felt they had both done some things, said some things that I didn't agree with. And in those, I was always saying, I like Dustin. I like Dustin, yeah. Never really saw him as, I guess I've never seen him as problematic. I've never really seen him do anything that I particularly was like, wow, that's messed up. I didn't necessarily like the fact that those three, Rich, The Viewer's Voice, Nick Snyder, and Dustin Daily, really promoted Jeffrey and Shane for a very long time, even though everybody else was starting to see how Jeffree Star was and see how Shane Dawson was. And and I understand y'all can all have your own opinion of either of those people. I know there are some I think everybody's kind of over Jeffrey, but I feel like with Shane it is a very divided thing, and for myself it's very difficult because I was one of those many people who didn't watch his older content. I got kind of into the conspiracies videos, some of the food videos, the haunted stuff I loved. And then, when he started doing the documentary style videos, I loved him. So I 100% understand both sides, whether you support him or you don't. I get the feeling. I do understand it. But I didn't like how Dustin had his head so far up Jeffrey's ass and they were all kissing, trying to get to the top and be friends with Jeffrey and Shane. And then all of a sudden it's fuck Jeffrey, fuck Shane, because that's the popular thing right now is to hate on them. And I don't like that. If you genuinely don't like them, you think they're pieces of trash, fine. If you genuinely like them, fine. But it should be what you genuinely think or feel. So I've always liked Dustin, but once he started kind of shifting like that so quickly, and it just made me feel like, oh, okay, so we're gonna do this now, you've had your head so far up their ass, and it did feel like, just like I felt with Rich Lux and Nick Snyder, it felt like Dustin was trying to kiss ass, but it still felt like he was, doing his research on his channel and being fair and giving his opinion. So I still liked him. But then when that shift happened where it was like, screw Jeffrey, screw Shane, yeah, I started side-eyeing that shit. Like, yeah, really, man? Because I want to see people that I watch be genuine. And, there's been questions about how he handles things for a while, and I guess I never looked too far into it. I was just, I don't know, I guess I just wasn't very interested in looking into it at the time, but now that I'm here, and I make my own videos, it does give me a different perspective, and it makes me kind of look harder into things where I could enjoy a YouTuber beforehand and be like, yeah, they might say or do something a little shady here or there. But now I definitely look closer. And when Mysterious Tea, who I absolutely love, like I don't agree with everything she says and does. There's been a couple, minor things, but a couple of things where I was like, I feel a little different. But I love her content. Her content is always on point. I love the editing, the music, I love her voice. I love how well researched and laid out it is. Like, her videos are videos that I get excited for. Like, I'm ready for another one. Especially when she does series. I absolutely love them. If you haven't seen them, I'll link her channel. She's outstanding. I actually talked about her a lot in the beginning of making my channel because she always made really good points. And so to tie that back to Dustin, she had an experience with Dustin Daily recently, and it was shitty. So we're going to talk about that today. So just recently, Dustin Daily made a video, and it was talking about Shane and how much of a horrible person he is because he treated his friend Drew. Drew used to be quite a big part of Shane's channel, but there was someone else who made a video compilation of that. It was like all the times that Shane was mean to Drew, but they were all clips taken out of context. We all know how that goes. But it did make Shane look really bad, like he was, fat shaming Drew and spitting in his face. But all of those things were done as a skit. Drew was in on it the whole time. And that's not to say that it's not possible for Shane to be shitty to his friends, but that's not proof and evidence that he is, So Dustin comes on, he makes a video about it, and he drags Shane for it. How could you do this? It's the lowest thing you could do, blah, blah, blah. Well, then afterwards, he ends up making a video, and I can't remember if it was like a day apart or 2 days after, it doesn't really matter. Afterwards, Dustin made a video saying that he messed up. And I remember watching the video because I didn't know anything had been said by Mysterious Tea at this point. And the video immediately kind of hit me the wrong way because he was basically saying, like, I didn't lie, I didn't manipulate, it was an oversight. But it felt more like that's what he was saying, but it felt more like I didn't mess up, I just didn't research it. Things like this happen. I just didn't do my research. And when you're a drama channel, especially someone as huge as Dustin Daily is, and he's getting bigger and bigger nowadays, and people are very happy for him and Nick Snyder to be together, and which they've always been friends, but whatever. It's gotten them more attraction. Like, that's how things like that work on YouTube. And so to be that big and to be someone that we've all trusted for years, and Mysterious Tea says something about this in her video that, his videos have always been well researched and well put together, so that's what you expect when you come to his channel. People expect what you put out to be what you're going to continue to do. And yes, you can make mistakes. Everyone does. But to flat out say, well, I saw this video and I reported on it and I didn't take the time to look at it, like, that's more than just an oversight. That's like you completely neglected to even try. You were just like, I'll just talk about it. You know, not how can you be as big of a drama channel as he is? This is his job. How can you just be like, I'm not going to research it. I'm not going to try to find the rest of these videos or, you know, more context to it. I'm just going to talk about what's in this compilation. Like, of all these years, he knows better, but he didn't care. But that's not even why we are here. We are here because when Dustin put that video out, Mysterious T got on Twitter and let him know, like, hey, dude, you basically lied in this video because the clips were taken out of context. Drew hasn't said that he's been treated like shit by Shane, so maybe you should apologize. Get on there and get it straight, because these clips weren't, you know, Shane disrespecting Drew. These were planned skits. These were things that they were both in on. Here's where Dustin, in my opinion, fucked up. He really did. I have no respect for this shit. He replies, and I can't remember what all he said, because the only part that really stuck out to me was telling her to suck his ass, and he called her a bitch. Like, suck my ass, bitch. Now, I have some thoughts. I really, really do. But even when he spoke on it later, which he didn't just directly do this to Mysterious T, he also was saying similar things to other followers and subscribers who were pointing these things out. So he was just on a rant, just being shitty to everybody. Y'all can all suck his ass, and you're all a bunch of bitches. And that pisses me off. That there is no sense in the disrespect there, like, at all. And he says in his video, he's like, well, if someone comes at me with disrespect, I meet disrespect with disrespect. Or, you know, he's going to do it back or worse. Like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay behavior. That makes you seem like a very shitty person. Now, do I think Dustin's an absolute shitty person? No, but I think he's definitely doing some shitty things right now, and maybe he needs to be knocked down a couple notches. Bring it back to reality, man. Yeah, you're a big channel, but you're only a big channel because people like you. They trust you. They watch your shit. You get on and keep making videos that you didn't research, get caught in lies, and then when you're called out for it or it's pointed out to you, you call them a bitch and tell them to suck your ass. You ain't gonna have shit for long. Now, I know most of you know I started here calling out Katie for treating her subscribers like shit. This is a similar situation. And yes, Mysterious T is another drama channel, but you don't treat other drama channels like that. You know, could she have approached him differently? Because I've heard that. Yeah, sure, she could have DM'd him, whatever. But why should she have to? She chose to do it the way she did. It was like, hey, man, you lied. You need to get this straight. And since he was in the wrong to begin with, because he didn't research it, and that's by his own admission, he should have been like, oh shit, I'm sorry, take the video down, which, by the way, he did not do. He made a video about the video, but he didn't take it down. So he didn't give a shit that the false information was out there or that he misled the audience. It was just like, this got said, so yeah, I totally overlooked that, and, you know. Oh, and I'm not going to apologize for calling someone a bitch. And that pisses me off. I don't know what it is, but, like, I don't like for anybody to, you know, take it to that level. If the person's not coming at you sideways like that, you are doing something really wrong, like really, really wrong, I don't think that it's okay to just say some shit like that. Like, you don't say shit like that, right? Am I the only one? I don't know. But it also gets me because, you know, this isn't the first time he's called plenty of women bitches. And it's disrespectful for anyone to say, but I do feel like it's weird to me that if a man calls a woman a bitch, he will get a ton of hate, you know, because it's even more disrespectful and degrading. You know, not that it's any better, you know, a woman calling another woman a bitch. It's still disrespect altogether. But it's just weird to me that, and maybe it's because Dustin's a gay man that he feels like it's okay, but to me it's like, it's just, I mean, I don't feel like I can explain it well enough, but I hope that maybe you get what I'm saying. Like, it's disrespectful no matter who it's from and who it's to, but there is an added layer of like, really, you're a dude coming at a chick and calling her a bitch of all things, because that's, to me, if a man calls me a bitch, that's like the lowest thing he could say to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about being disrespectful. It's like really the worst thing you can say to that group of people. Like if you were to go to a gay person, for example, and drop an F-bomb, for a woman, I feel like the B word is like the one that hits the hardest. And I don't get how it's okay for him to do this. Why has no one else been saying shit? Because he's been doing it for so long. And I didn't realize that he had been doing it for so long, but I just got done seeing some shit. And I do remember that Smokey Glow had said it in her video when that stuff was going on, that Dustin would go around calling people bitches, but I didn't, I guess I at the time, there was so much I was angry about in that situation that I didn't even catch on to that. But now it's like, wow, this has been a thing for quite some time. So, I don't know. It's like, yes, I love Mysterious Tea, but I really did like Dustin. And it's upsetting, it's disappointing, as it always is. When you love and support a creator, when you trust a creator and you feel that they're trustworthy, to see them report something wrong or lie in their video, whether it's an oversight or not, it hurts, or it bothers you, or it makes you look at them kind of different. But then to see him attack someone like Mysterious Tea, who I have a lot of respect for, because she does do her research. She puts a lot of time and effort into her videos. She's very fair, very honest. She's doing it right. To see him come along and just jump on her and literally say, "Suck my ass, bitch." Like, really? That's your response? Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like, that's where I stand right now. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, yeah, you got numbers. Yeah, you made it. You're at the top. But for how long? How long will you stay there when this is really how you're going to act? Like, to me, that is some Jeffree Star type bullshit. And the whole him, Jeffree, Shane, he wanted so bad to be up their ass and kiss their ass when they were on top, when they were making that makeup palette and the money was coming out. Boy, he had his conspiracy palette. But now that that's not what everybody wants to hear, his story's changed. Jeffree Star's a piece of shit. Shane Dawson's a piece of shit. And like I said, it doesn't matter how you all feel. I know everybody's got very divided feelings, and I get that. It's about the fact that he was going with whatever was popular at that time. And he doesn't care. Jeffree and Shane were doing shitty things way before he started talking about them, back when he was kissing their ass. Jeffree Star especially, I understand a lot of people didn't know about Shane, but everybody knew about Jeffree. And he sat up there and he kissed Jeffree's ass the entire time, and now that is the most unpopular thing to do, now he condemns him. So basically I'm making this video to say I've lost all respect for Dustin Daily. The whole calling people bitches and saying to suck his ass, nah, that ain't it. I'm sorry. I don't care how big you get on YouTube or how famous you are. That's never okay. To treat fans, followers, subscribers like that is not okay. To treat a fellow creator that way is not okay. I get that people have beef and feuds, and that can lead to certain things being said, but this wasn't even like that. She literally just tagged him on Twitter like, hey bro, you made a mistake. Fix that. You know? Like, I don't feel like, because, his whole comment, well, if you come at me with disrespect, I'm going to disrespect you back. A, I disagree with that. But B, like, she didn't disrespect you in the first place. And neither did all the other people that you came at, sideways. Like, they weren't disrespecting you either. So, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, that's how I feel about it. Anyway, I am going to go and probably put together some more video stuff. I love you guys. I'm so glad to have you here. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Katie keeps her mouth shut so we don't have to do those things, those videos. And yeah, we'll see what we do next. If you have any suggestions of things, topics that I should talk about, channels, people, whatever, please let me know. And you know what? Because I've said this before, I was like, if people run out of Katie content, right, what are they going to do? Hey, they might have to leave the internet. That's just what it is. I'd like to stick around, but if I dwindle down, hey, it's been a good ride. I love y'all so much. I've had a great time making content. It's been fun. And I really would be happy to see her finally do what she's supposed to be doing, Like, I've never been a Katie hate channel. If she would actually shut her mouth and do what's best for herself and her family, I'd be fine with that. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's more of like a rambling rant type of video. Rant and ramble. Who has that? Somebody has that on their channel. Anyway, I'm very distracted. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you got any suggestions, things I should look at, things I should talk about, things you want to hear me talk about, let me know. And I'll try to keep the channel going. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.